This is Taking It to the Nub with Shirtless Mike.
And Boston Jimmie.
How you doing, brother?
Well, Mike, I don't know if you've been counting, but this is episode number 9.
Yes, sir.
Number 9. For those of you the Beatles fans, you'll understand that, what I just said. So here's the thing. Today, and I don't know why I'm going a little blurry here, but maybe it's because of my backdrop. But today, we have got 2 of what we call the iconic smokers.
Yep.
Jerome and Juan, and we're going to bring them in a minute. But everything is okay with you? We just connected at the liquor store. And
I just ran into you at the liquor store, man. I was getting some cigars that I don't have in my cooler door. But other than that, man, I've been pretty good this week. Just worked a couple days, and then, for the most part, just been connecting with people every day all around the country. I got news that my shirts are selling well, my Team Shirtless Mike shirts, so I couldn't be happier.
Hey, what we're going to do right now is we're going to kick this off with Jerome and Juan. Bring them right in here. So welcome. We have Jerome Berry and Juan Nunez, 2 of some of my favorite friends in this cigar business. We've known each other for quite a while. They have together what's called iconic smokers. So, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you, Jimmie.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Juan. How about yourself, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Love your shirt, though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you for getting one as well, man. I can't wait to see you rocking it.
Oh, man. Yeah. Look what I have in the background. Let's see. Where is that at? It dropped. I have Boston Jimmie's shirt, but I think it dropped on the floor.
You guys talk for just 1 minute. I got to fix.
Oh snap! We got the Herb shirt. Yeah, so I guess Boston Jimmie's fixing something right now. So I guess I'll just continue on with this show, man. So JB, what you smoking? I already know, but for the audience to know.
So JB from Iconic Smokers, Jerome Berry. Today I'm lighting up a private stock from circa 1959, the Boston Jimmie.
All right. And what you smoking today, Juan?
Well, I decided to go with a cigar that I call, it's like your first girlfriend. It's unforgettable, and I call that the Guayaba cigar, the natural wrapper, the white label.
Nice. Yeah, I'm smoking an old school cigar. I've been smoking it since before the show, but the Arandoza Blue Label. They're not around anymore, but they make great cigars, and there's a place locally that still has them, so I make sure I bought quite a few of them today, just to keep on stock.
And I am smoking a Rockefeller Nicaraguan blue, Dominican blue, box pressed Churchill. This is actually an awesome cigar.
So what are you guys pairing with?
I have 2 things. I have a glass of wine left over from dinner, which will take me through the next 10 minutes of this show. And then I decided to go cocktails tonight. So I made myself a Boston Jimmie Sea Breeze. For those who don't know what that is vodka, cranberry juice, and grapefruit juice. A little more on the cranberry than a little more on the grapefruit than cranberry. So today, I'm left it at that.
And I don't drink as often as I used to, so I'm just drinking some ice water, which I like to smoke with drink while smoking cigars. And, can't go wrong with that. Whenever I get in the mood, I drink, and whenever I'm not, I just, drink something else.
Well, I'm doing a trade secret, I'm going to call it. It ain't going to be a trade secret no more, from Art Kush from Ashes Cigar Lounge. This is a Fireball mixed with Modelo, and I got it in my Enki cup. Shout out to Pharrell for the swag on this one.
Yeah, my brother right there. Today I decided to go with something called the Basil Hayden Dark Rye. Excellent, excellent. Yeah. It was gifted to me by my friend Omar Collado. So thank you, Omar. Salud to you, my brother, and to everyone here.
So let's talk about iconic smokers for a bit. I have two brothers of the leaf right here, which have been in Miami. I know, like Jerome, you've been in Miami your whole life.
Yeah, all over Miami. I started out over town, moved to Little Haiti, did a little stint in Cutler Ridge, ended up in North Miami, then finally now a resident of Pembroke Pines.
All right. And Juan, you weren't born in Miami. I know that.
No, I was not born. I was born in Cuba, in a place called Baracoa, which is the eastern tip of Cuba, which also happens to be the first capital of Cuba. After which I emigrated to Madrid, Spain. That was back in 1969. We lived there for about a year. Then we moved to Tenerife. My father got a promotion as head of accounting for a company. And after that, we came over to Miami. I've been 1971. I've been in Miami since that time.
So how did you two meet?
So that's
Jay.
a really good day for me in itself. A couple years ago, we were doing an event that's actually around the same exact time that I met you, Jimmie. So we all kind of came into
that was the perfect storm. That's when we met Jimmie.
Yeah. So it came into full circle together. What happened is Juan was having a conversation with a person about how to build websites and how to get it to go, SEOs and all that other stuff or whatever. And I kind of interjected, being the fact that I got a degree and I've been building websites for a very long time or whatever. Then what happened is the person kind of dismissed me, but I guess Juan saw and realized that I knew exactly what I was talking about. He handed me my first love, which is the Coyaba White Label, and from there it's history.
So Coyaba White Label. So for those that are just tuning in, so we got iconic smokers. You two have met each other about 2 years ago. Juan has a cigar line. So when we talk about the Coyaba White Label, this is Juan's line of cigars. So talk about that.
About the line, okay. Coyaba was a dream. Actually, believe it or not, it was a dream of my cousin. Okay, my cousin, which is my mentor, his name is Ruben Abella. This happened back in 2010. We've been smoking cigars. He was the one who introduced me to cigars. We used to smoke our cigars. It was a master blender by the name of Guillermo Garcia. He since passed away. He was also the gentleman when Clinton came to Miami, when he was president, that he went to the Biltmore. He was the gentleman who actually hand-rolled the cigars for Clinton. But he was a personal friend of my cousin. So I've enjoyed his cigars since I was probably 18. So like I said, about 10 years ago, my cousin and I were meeting at home. And I brought up the conversation that, hey, you have a good business mind, but you always give your ideas away. You never do anything. And since you love the cigars, why don't we come up with a line of cigars? And we knew a lot of people in the industry. So basically what I did is I said, look, I'm just going to bankroll it and I want you to just run with it. And that's how the dream was born. As far as how the name Coyaba came about, once again, like I said, I'm from the eastern portion of Cuba, the tip of Cuba. If you look at the map, it's called Baracoa. Now, indigenous to Baracoa were the Taino Indians. Okay, they were from the eastern portion of Cuba. Also, Hispaniola, which is Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. Coyaba in their language means paradise. That's why I always say Coyaba is paradise. It means heaven to them. So when they passed away, they went to heaven. That's how we came with the name. As far as the design, which is like an Indian head, it's just not just any Indian. It was based on Guama. Guama was our our hero for the Taínos. You know, he fought the Spaniards for over 10 years before he was captured. Actually, he wasn't captured. He was killed by his own brother. But that's another story for another time. We came to a Cuban artist by the name of Janice, and I told her exactly what I wanted. She came up with Indian heads, and everything is traditional Taíno, all the way from the flowers, from the feathers, which is from the tocororo bird, which is the national bird of Cuba. As far as if you look at the design, you're gonna see he has a neck piece. That is from the Polynicta victa, which is actually it's a large land snail, and it's the most colorful in the world, and it's indigenous of Baracoa, where I'm from. Also, the earpiece is called a poa. So everything you see on that design is traditional Taíno chieftain. And as you know, Jimmie, the story that I think it was like about 2 years ago, I redesigned my label with Maniriac, and the rest is history. If you want to know who makes my cigars, they're made by Abam, they're located in Zona Franca. The brothers Matia and Gabriel Maragotto, which also did the blend for the Flor de Inclán for Villiger, number 10 cigar of the year, under the tutelage of Adalberto Ruiz Calderon. They're the ones who make my cigars. The white label comes in a wrapper, which we call the Natural Connecticut. It's actually a wrapper that Mr. Calderon was the one that back in the late 80s, early 90s, he's the one who created that type of wrapper. So I'm lucky enough to have it. We also carry the green label, which is Maduro San Andres, and the red label, which is now going to be Jalapa Habano. The blend, 5 leaves in the blend, which has Piloto Cubano, Doble Ligero Dominicano, Ligero Nicaragua, and then 2 other ones that are like called the secrets of the blend. So there you go.
All right. So I've had your whole line, I believe. We met each other quite a few years earlier than I think you and Jerome met. I think it was like maybe 4 years I've known you.
Sure.
I've experienced those blends. We reviewed some, and they are absolutely unique in themselves. You together now meet up with Jerome.
Yes, sir.
Jerome is a photographer, a video producer. I believe you're a deputy sheriff. Is that Jerome? Is it a deputy sheriff or is it a state trooper?
We do a few things.
So you all get together and you come up with this concept of what you call iconic smokers. And you create a Facebook group and you're starting this mission where I've seen you go and you highlight different lounges, different cigar manufacturers. So what is the mission of iconic smokers for the consumer?
Well, number one, it's not just, it wasn't just like me in the works of who started Iconic Smoker. I've enlisted the help of several people, including you have College Joseph, you have Daniel Shee, you have Heidi Torrero, you have Alex, Christopher. There's a lot of people who are, obviously a part of this. Not only did I do that for like the background for Iconic Smoker, I also did it for the actual group itself. In the group, I went and I found some people who were just spectacular as far as the industry goes. From like Will McFall and some other people you'll see who are moderators and the admin of the group. So Iconic Smoker is basically broken down into like 3 sections. You have the marketing tier of Iconic Smoker, which basically that's where we build websites. We help market companies. We make challenge coins, gear, swag. We initiate new ideas. We do cross promotion, the whole 9 yards. We have the group itself, which the group itself, which is basically to uplift anybody in the industry who's trying to get their foot in the door, trying to get an understanding of cigars, and just like a safe shelter. Doesn't matter what group you're a part of, you know, whether you're a part of Fat Ash, Ruffian, Florida Cigar Club, this and that. This is this is a space where it's a lifestyle, and we're truly not a club because we live this. This is a space where you get to show off all of your different ventures, all of your different friendships, all your different correlations, and everything like that. And then the other part of Iconic Smoker is obviously brand development and aiding different brands to come into the new age of cigar smoking, because you know, back then, you know, people would pick up one cigar, they'd smoke it, and that's it. You're stuck on it. That's your cigar. You're in it for the next 50 years. Your kid wants a cigar. That's what you handed to them. Your grandfather smokes that. Your dad smoked it. You're going to smoke it. Well, we're not in that business anymore. You know, now we're in an era where there's so many different brands. There's so many different nuances of cigars you want to explore. So why not have a location where people love to do the same thing and you can love to do it together? And the only rule that we truly have is we don't believe in the negativity. At the end of the day, if you're one of those negative people and all you see is downward spiral, then you know what? There's a door that you walked into to join the family, and there's a door that you can walk to leave. And we have no issues with that. There's no animosity, no nothing. You know, we just move on. You know, the ship always is gonna sail. It's just who's gonna be the who's gonna be the captain. You know what I mean? And I just consider myself one of many captains of this ship. So.
That's awesome. And I actually have a question which was asked by one of our viewers, my boy Kevin Perro, aka the Commish. He said, "What created Jerome's love for cigars?"
Well, believe it or not, and funny thing is, I'm actually wearing the hat. Eric Espinosa and Aficionados Temper Times is what created my love for cigars. Initially, I went to like Cuban crafters down in Miami, and I was looking for cigars. And then a good friend of mine, who's now a great friend of mine, Aldo, I met him. He walked me through their massive humidor. He gave me a few cigars and everything like that. Put me on a track that he believed would work for me or whatever. But it's not until I went to Aficionados and met Elena, who is like the mom of the industry, and she basically cultured me in cigars. And then so from that point, I ended up she invited me to an event. It just happened to be done by Eric Espinosa Sr. I did that event, and I met Eric, and you know how Eric is. Everything is about family, bro. It's like Fast and Furious.
No, it's about bro. It's about
bro.
You didn't hear me say it 3 times? You didn't hear me say bro 3 times? It's about family, bro. So what happened is once I met Eric, and then and then Junior's always been like, you know, like the stepbrother, you know what I mean? So he's always been like punching me in the stomach, like when I'm not looking, like telling me to, you know, keep my head on the swivel and everything like that. And then, you know, I fell in love with what they did and everything. And from that point on, I just fell in love with cigars. Little secret, I wasn't really like, I didn't find the Espinosa cigar that I liked until maybe like my year and a half into being around them. And not to say that like they don't make great cigars. My palate wasn't developed enough to understand the complexity of what they were making. So what happened is once I found the 601 Nuclear, I got stuck on that, which Eric Jr. claims is the strongest cigar, one of the strongest cigars there. And that became like my go-to cigar. And then from there, once me and Juan started having like these one-on-ones and everything like that, and he aided me to develop my palate, then I went back and I started revisiting all these different cigars and actually picking up these nuances and learning how to actually smoke and enjoy a cigar, which is, you know, which created this lifestyle that you see now.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, you're big into photography as well. You know, you're an independent guy that, you know, works for different companies, contracted and everything. And back, what was it, last year or the year before? You know, I saw Rick Ross was at the IPCPR, now known as the PCA. Did you actually get to chop it up with Rick Ross? And because I know you took some pretty iconic pictures, which I was real excited to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just one of the plethora of people that I've gotten opportunity to that are, let's say, hip hop or a person with status that has crossed branded or crossed over into the industry looking to get their feet wet. I did get to speak with him. He's a very intellectual individual. I mean, look, you don't become a multi-billionaire just by, you know, sleeping and waking up late every day, bro. You got to pull those 20-hour days, those 22-hour days, you know, in order to grow. So I've got an opportunity to work with him. I've got an opportunity to work with I Am Rich. I got an opportunity to work with what was the guy's name? Zoe Dollars. There's a bunch of people that you run into. You know what I mean? I can't remember every person, but I'm pretty sure if I go through my 20 gigabytes of photos, I can tell you a plethora of people, whatever like that. But those people, they're great in a sense of like you're watching them become what you are in the industry already. For me, I really look up to people like the Manny Iriartes of the world, the Nick, I can't even say his last name, Nick Averci or however he did. And then, you know, you have the, obviously the Arturo Fuentes of the world. Those are the people that really, you know, the Eric Espinosas, the Eric Juniors, you know, those are the people who really make this industry run as a whole. You know, there's plenty of people, man. Jonathan Drew, to say the least, and the way he operates himself on a daily basis. It's just looking at the dynamic of how much effort and work and time and passion and sweat, tears, blood that they put into this makes you want to grow in the industry. And then you get that extra pieces, which are obviously the rappers and the musicians, you know, and everything like this comes along with as part of the entire package of being in the lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So you were born in Cuba.
Yes, sir.
And how old were you when you left Cuba?
I was 9 years old.
9
for
years
those
old.
that want to know, right now I'm 58. So
there you go. So at 9 years old, did you experience any of the tobacco culture, a field, understanding, or was it just family? You were just kind of sheltered from that?
No, the region I'm from in Cuba, we're not known for tobacco growing. That's on the western portion of Cuba in Pinar del Rio. If you want to call it my history, is like my grandfather, my uncles, they used to light up cigars. And just the aroma to me was so enticing as a young boy. To this day, as a Cuban boy, that's what I'm saying, the three aromas that to me are unique are when you light up a cigar, when you make Cuban coffee, or when you're roasting a pig. That's the way I go at it. But my reason is not for cigars.
So your family moved to Spain, like you said, and you work your way back. You're in the United States. When did you first smoke your first cigar?
I was about, you know, like what I say, that I got to like really enjoy, not just taking puffs and so when I was approximately 18 years old. Once again, I come back to one of my mentors, which is my cousin, Ruben Abella. He's older than me, but we're closer as brothers. And he was the one who really, really introduced me to the industry with Guillermo, you know, which was the master blender that used to roll his cigars out of the house, and we used to buy it from him. Then the second cigar that I was really introduced to was back in the day with Toraño. The Toraño brand, to me, they were amazing. And then from then on, I just expanded and I tried every different cigar. You know, to me, like, I know it's a cliche, but there's no bad cigars. If there's a cigar that maybe doesn't agree with your palate, you just move on, okay? But, I mean, the industry has excellent cigars out there. Some of my favorites, I mean, I know I'm partial to Boutique, but to me, and they're like mentors too. I'm talking about Felix Mesa with Calango, Karel Martinez with Enki, Arthur Benedict. You have Santana with the Lords of England, Dr. Cass making excellent cigars.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
So I was going to like ask the question. So being kind of now, you know, Jerome is born and raised Miami. You're kind of like as much as native Miami as you can get in these worlds. over your years, and I know you got a few more years on Jerome, right? But how is it in living in Miami? Get opportunities to rub elbows with
Oh my God.
go to shops and see them. You have any good stories about, meeting
Jimmie,
somebody
like
that
I've told you
you
before, man,
idolize?
JB and I mean, we're spoiled. Like you said, we get to rub the shoulders with the whole True State team. They're excellent people. Espinosa, come on, they're like family. Felix, I go to his shop, he closes the door, and we're there till midnight, drinking wine and talking just things about the industry, his childhood, in growing to fourth generation cigar growers. The great thing he's doing right now in Nicaragua with Fuente. Karel Martinez, my God, man, he's like a brother to me. Once again, I go to his shop, and I don't go to smoke. We just go to talk about life. I mean, the cigar becomes almost secondary with us.
Yeah, we had him on the show a few weeks ago, and I tell you, I love him, man.
Yeah, he's watching too, and he shouted you guys out.
Enki line. I mean, they're all great. But since they're not my brand, I do have a favorite, which is that Corojo wrapper. Amazing. And if you also have a chance to talk to a gentleman that is a wealth of knowledge, not only in the cigar line, but in what's going on with in our industry right now with the FDA, is Dr. Cap. That's a gentleman, and I mean, he is he's willing to help anybody. Sometimes in the industry, people tend to not want to, I don't know, you might call it help or what have you, but Dr. Kaufman, his door is open. Whatever you need, I mean, he's there for you. I mean, like I said, he's very well in tune with what's going on right now with the FDA and the cigar industry. Excellent man to know.
So Jerome, who is the most favorite person that you have been able to meet in Miami, in the cigar capital of the United States?
You said the most influential, or what was the question?
Who's your favorite one that I've sat down with? You idolize. You probably idolize them all, but the most iconic. We use your word. The most iconic brand owner or manufacturer.
All right. So I'm gonna answer that in two parts. There's not a single person in this industry that I haven't sat down with that I haven't believed isn't iconic in their own right. That's number one, right? From you, from Juan, from Mike, you guys all teach me something different every time we have a conversation. That's point blank, period. One of my greatest conversations, I'd have to say, and I've had a lot of them, but one of the greatest ones I'd say has to be with Junior, Eric Espinosa Jr. And it was in my trip to Nicaragua with him or whatever, because that trip came along out of the blue. He just called me one day. He's like, yo, you want to go to Nicaragua with me? I was like, when we going? He goes, bro, 3 days from now, can you do it? I was like, whoa, 3 days? Can you do it? I was like, brother, anything, let's go or whatever, right? And so we get on a plane together. We go to I don't like using the term third world country, but we go to Nicaragua, and we go down there. We're on the back of a truck. Having just really most beautiful thing about that, Eric is like 2 or 3. He's a couple years younger than me. So what's interesting is watching him being at the helm of a company that he started with his father, that he ended up leaving college for to start, and then now he's building, attempting to build this empire that is like unlike anything else you've ever seen in thus far. So that's like one of those beautiful love stories that I've gotten to be at the forefront of, because I'm here at the beginning of Espinosa Elite, at the beginning of Iconic Smokers and everything like that, and being able to grow with him has truly given me an understanding of what this industry truly is.
So you guys being in this heart of it all, I mean, when I'm up here, I get, Mike and I, we get shops. We have occasionally reps, and we get sometimes the manufacturer or brand owner shows up for an event, and that's nice. And I personally get to meet them at big shows in Vegas. But here you are in a lockdown situation, and you're like out there all the time. How are you handling the fact that you're sitting around your house all the time and not able to get out and work with these idols?
Jimmie, have you seen my backyard? Number one.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have a point. He's got a really nice backyard.
That's number one. But number two is lockdown is it's only in the sense of the body, bro. The mind isn't locked down. You have the opportunity and the ability to go out and actually do Zooms and do phone conversations, everything like that. We're brought back to like the era, I want to call it the era of no internet, where you actually had to have a conversation over the phone. So that's what made it great, because now you're actually hearing the people's voices. You're actually having those conversations. You're actually having a moment to find meaning versus just do business. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
Now, how about you, Juan? What is your experience in this now?
Well, I'm maybe a little bit different than others out there, because people may not know, but I'm also a physical therapist. So actually, the way I've done it is I've gone to see some patients at home, but the rest, so that's my interaction with them. The rest I'm doing in what we call telehealth, which is basically what I'm doing with you right now, but it's just instructing them in home programs and so on. So, but other than that, I'm pretty much staying home. Some people come by and see me. We smoke cigars here, but other than that, I'm just following the physical distancing versus social distancing.
Social distancing. Now, Jerome, you if I understand correctly, last time we spoke, you were working on kind of putting together a documentary. I mean, your travels down in Nicaragua and places you've been to, various factories, you've met many of the icons in the industry. So are you putting together a documentary? Can you talk about that?
yeah. So what happened is I did a fundraiser. Because what happened is obviously I do a lot. Like, for example, with Iconic Smoker, we have the Iconic Smoker of the Month, where we actually give away items, but versus like what normal other people do, which is take on sponsorship or whatever. I don't really take on sponsorship. I just come out of my own pocket and I'll do a giveaway. So whether it's cigars, shirts, whether it's a challenge coin, or whatever it be, you get something personally from the staff of Iconic Smokers. You know what I mean? So so what happened with the documentary is I was trying to do a fundraiser to raise money to be able to go ahead and showcase the industry, not only the industry as a whole, but the industry as an independent. You know what I mean? Being just a cigar smoker in itself, and showcase what happened at the start. Like, you have the lady who wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning, kisses her kid goodbye, doesn't even get to see the kid gets to get dressed, and then she gets on a bus, and then she rides for, let's say, 2 hours to so she can start working on the farm. You know, she goes, she gets her rack, plants that first seed. So I wanted to take it basically from the seed to the ash, but from the perspective of independence, where I'm not bound by the standard. Need to remove, can't tell this part of the story, or no edits. You know what I mean? Say unfiltered version. I'm still working on it. Obviously, I haven't met my financial goal as of yet, but as far as filming, I started filming since last year. It's just I'm gonna be putting out what I can as I can afford it. If that makes sense.
Definitely. That's definitely interesting. So, how many times total have you been to Nicaragua, JB?
Nicaragua, that's my first time, but I also went to Hong Kong. I went to Cuba. I've done Haiti a few times because there's tobacco crops in Haiti. I've gone to, man, I can't think of every different country at the moment, but I've been to a few locations where it's not that grows tobacco in as well. I'm scheduled to go to DR with Juan, which is going to be an experience in itself as well. and I'm supposed to go back to Nicaragua to continue on with filming, because they have a policy with me when it comes to being able to go to the warehouse, being able to capture and grab what I need, being able to go to fields they have access to and everything like that. It's definitely been a ride or an experience in itself.
Nice. So do you have like a donate thing where people could donate to help out with, getting the movie, the documentary out there?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is initially I had a Facebook campaign going, and I raised about let's say about $1,000 or so, somewhere in that range, and then I'm going to set up on the website, which is theiconicsmokers.com or iconicsmoker.com. You'll know it's the page because there is a song that pops up right when the page comes up. You'll see my picture, you'll see Juan, and you'll see Iconic Smokers. Any other pages are not affiliated with us. We have no other affiliations at this time besides Coyaba Cigars and obviously Sean Christian's the handbags. But
so let me bring this up for everybody to see. Share my screen here real briefly. I would if I let me. There we go. So I would if I could. Let me. Ignore that. So it's theiconicsmokers.com. We'll get back to that later, and that's where you can see what Juan and Jeremy and others, Jerome, are doing around this brand. When you started this, and you kind of broke the ice a little bit, so I'm not going to go deep into it. You also have apparel and stuff. Is there a confusion here that we need to know about?
Yeah. So initially, when I had for example, my parent company is Just Don't Blink Enterprises, right? That's a lot of people think it's my initials because it's JDB Enterprises, but it's Just Don't Blink Enterprises. That's our parent company. And then what happened is Iconic Smokers is like a subsidiary under that, and then we have a few other companies that we're developing that you'll see coming up soon and everything. With Iconic Smokers, the whole point was to start the marketing front to introduce you to all these different companies that we have under our umbrella, right? So one of the main things that we're doing right now, obviously the challenge coins. If you guys haven't seen them yet, these are challenges for different companies and everything. Go to the website, you see some of the swag that we have so far, some of associations, and what I mean by associations is people that we actually deal with in the industry and everything. So it really presents a unique aspect for us. So initially, we did have I personally had a association with another brand. I'm not in the business of bad mouthing anything or saying anything negative. But that's just my nature. So we no longer have that affiliation. So I just want to make that clear. So if you see anything else that leads you to anything else, it has nothing to do with us.
So this is an absolutely beautiful challenge coin. So on the screen, right?
Yeah. I would hate to have to say it right now, but we have no more. Please don't order. I actually was supposed to take it down as of today, but I just keep forgetting to take it down. So once I take it down, we have the official members coin that's coming out. Obviously, we have different color shirts. The options are on. You go there, patch. Have all these different that go into. A ridiculous amount from us, for us, or whatever. All we do is take whatever we make in swag and we reinvest in new swag. So everything goes back to the membership. It's just keep costs down. We're all saving items website, but we don't make that's not where we make our profit. Our profit comes from our actual work which is the website, and then the work that we do with other companies. Once you bring me back on screen, I'll give a Boston Jimmie exclusive. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So this is a Boston Jimmie exclusive. There's only a few people in the world that know about this. Even you don't know about this officially yet, Jimmie. But what I'm gonna do is you are one of the first one, and I'm gonna give you one to invite somebody who's not a part of Iconic Smoker to be able to become a member as well. So this is Iconic Smoker coin. This is the replacement. Let's see. Can you guys see that? So this is the brand new one. These will be numbered, so you'll actually have a member's number and everything. That's the front.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yo, that's nice.
So it's built like a credit card. It's actually we call it the Iconic Smoker Black Card. And then once you receive it, you'll see all the little nuances within it and everything like that. This is coming soon. It hasn't been released yet. But what I'm going to do is, Boston Jimmie, you'll receive one. Obviously, Mike's going to receive one. And then I'll send you an extra one as a giveaway as you see fit to somebody that you want to bring into the lifestyle.
Well, I would say right here that here's the deal. As everybody knows, when we do these videos, these live videos, they can get a little frazzled. I post-produce these. They are published early in the week following tonight, and on our YouTube channel, and on and I'll put an article out on Stogie Press. If you comment on that, the first one to comment on the article on Stogie Press that described that coin that he just said, say, hey, that's a cool coin, and you explain what it is, you're in. You got it. Real simple. It's that easy.
Nice.
Have fun with it.
And you know what? I also got a Team Shirtless Mike sticker coming in this week, so I'm getting 3 of them for my personal use. I'll even throw in a Team Shirtless Mike sticker. I can get it to you, Jimmie.
There you go. And you're going to get 2 Boston Jimmie cigars on top of it. So you know what? You're getting packages.
Whoa. I may have to trade you. Maybe I give you an extra coin for cigars, brother.
What do you guys? You guys like this cigar?
Yeah, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I don't know how many pieces of your foot actually touched the code. I mean, this was Jimmie.
Boom, there you go.
That's very nice. Thank you. And did you get? Let me ask you, when you got down towards the final third, did you pick up mint?
Jimmie, I just got to the final third, so you're actually giving me hints of what's to come.
Oh, you're smoking it. Okay, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let me know if you pick up mint somewhere around the final third. I've been told. I personally get it, and I knew that I would get it, but others have said they get it. So not everybody gets it, but I'm curious. See how your palate is.
Yeah. Just to tell you, man, the number one, the construction. I didn't have to do. Me and Juan, we take care when we toast the cigar, so I only had to toast. I did the initial. I did it correctly. We don't take our puff cigars completely perfectly. So there is no flavor profile better than what I'm smoking here, because this is a full flavored. I don't want to say it's like a medium to full on my palate. It's a medium full cigar on my palate, but it's definitely one of the ones that I have to have in my rotation now. So you have to give me a couple more of these.
All right. Well, I can tell you this. I've been contacted whether I want to put another order in.
You should.
A humidor. So I might have to talk to people and say, if you want them, let me know. Special friends. We'll see.
Well, sign me up, brother.
There you go. Is that you, Juan? Who's got the noise in the background?
Who's got the who?
The noise in the background. Is that Juan or?
It's me.
Is it you? It's the Cuban family?
Some loud Cubans on the other side, man. And I've been telling them to
Oh,
watch
yeah. That's okay.
And if you hear the birds, that's my backyard.
Oh, okay.
They just decided to go off like for no reason.
I should have gone to JB's house, man, but it is what it is.
So we wanna move on a little bit here. This is the part of the show where we will talk a little about some news and some things that have been out of Stogie Press. Hang in there. You guys can comment on some of this if you want. The first thing that when I was prepared for the show, I actually found an interesting article. So I don't know how many people know who Luke Bryan is. Luke Bryan is a country music singer, and he's got a cigar lounge in Florida. All right. And I'm going to just share this with you for a second because I thought this was an interesting quick look news article that, where is it? There we go. So Luke Bryan, his Florida cigar bar was under fire because he kind of opened it up too early here in Florida. So if you search on Florida Man, you probably find Luke Bryan, right? Because we're famous for Florida Man, right? So Luke Bryan, Luke Bryan's Florida cigar bar was under fire after it reopened to the public on Friday, despite state saying don't do anything until Monday. They're in Watersound, Florida. I'm not quite sure where Watersound is. But we have a place here that they've been they kind of jumped the gun. So interesting how cigar news you normally see on sites like mine, Half Wheel, Cigar Coop, and others shows up on some prime level Fox News flash. So we're in the news with the cigar world. Some of the other news that we've got going on. I have to share my screen here. And so the biggest news of the week, Imperial Brands, which is a British tobacco company, famous things like Winston. They've got Davidoff cigarettes. They've got a lot of tobacco products, multi-billion-dollar company. They announced the sale this week of their premium cigar business. Now, if you want to know how big some of these cigar businesses are, I'm sure people like Eric Espinoza and some others would love to be told that they got bought out for $1.36 billion. With a capital B.
Yeah, that's a pretty good payday.
That's a huge number. Now, if you want to know what that means, what is interesting for those that don't know, you can read it in here, but there are two parts to this deal. There is a premium cigar, U.S. premium cigar side, and kind of everything else, which includes the Cuban side. They actually were the owners of Altadis. So those of you that know who Altadis is, has been sold. It has been sold to some private investors. So there are some changes coming. We'll see what happens. We'll be following this as it goes through. But it includes such companies as JR Cigars and all the Casa de Monte Cristo stores across the United States are part of the deal. So we'll see what happens in the next, few months by the end of the year. These things take time to close. On the other side, the non-U.S. side, they're actually 50% stakeholders in Habanos SA that has all such things as Cristos and Cohibas and Romeo and Julietas. So 50% holders in International Cuban Arms and Tobacco. They are also Tabacalera is their factory, and that's also part of it. So the facilities in Honduras and the Dominican Republic are all part of it. So this whole deal just got signed, is being signed off to be sold to private investors that are taking this on for 1.36 billion American dollars is the equivalent. Good news. We'll be following that as we go forward. The new owner is called Allied Cigar Corporation SA. So that's the big news of the week. What do you guys think about that? Let me just stop sharing this for a second. So what's your opinion on this? You guys got any views on
Well,
business
initially,
is going?
I thought they had a higher ticket price that they were selling for initially, correct? And then they kind of settled at the 1.2.
Yeah.
I want to say they were at like 9 billion or something like that. They were initially asking. It was up there. The number that they were asking prior.
Yeah,
I didn't
Kevin
know about
just
the bigger number.
Kevin Schweitzer just commented on that.
What did Kevin Schweitzer say? Because he's
He
deep
says-
into the finance side.
He said they puked it for 1.2 billion. They were selling it last year for 9 billion.
Yeah.
Just like JB just said.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember. First of all, that they have some great companies under that umbrella. I mean, Rafael Nodal has the #1 cigar right now, which is under that umbrella, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
he's with Altadis.
So I've done work with them. I think I'm still going to be doing work with them in the near future. So the parent companies, it's kind of like they oversee. They make money, but as far as day-to-day, the day-to-day activities, that's really done by the guys with their foot on or the boots on the field. You know what I mean? So I mean, if you see all the work that Rafael has been putting in, especially this year, especially with birds and putting a direction to the company, to that company as a whole. So I just would like to see how this develops before I can render like an official opinion or anything like that, you know.
Juan, what do you think of the fact that, so they valued the company at the Cuban side, the 50% of the Cuban side at 1.6 billion, which basically says, does that mean that the whole Habano SA side, or at least the big parts, Monte Cristo, Romeo, and Cohiba, is valued at about 2.7 billion US dollars?
Well, they bought 50% of the Cuban side. That's why they divided into two business entities. And as you know, the Cuban cigar, which I've had, and I mean, when I say we, I mean Nicaragua, Honduras, Dominican Republic make cigars, in my opinion, which are just as good, if not better. But I mean, the Cuban cigar in the world is renowned for its quality. So that was a big enticing part for the company to buy the entire business. That was the key. 50% of the Habano side. That's why, I guess, due to international laws or what have you, they divided it into two entities. As far as everything else they're getting, I mean, they're getting the largest factory in the world. And the second factory they're getting is not as large, but it produces quite an amount of cigars per year.
Right.
And I mean, to me, it was a great deal. Initially, I think it was listed, from what I had read in Cara Nacional, I think it was like 1.6, and I guess they settled on the 1.36 at the end.
Right,
So,
right.
It's a great business move. I mean, I think it's a great business move. I mean, as far as the JR cigar, what's going on with the FDA, that we don't know what's going to go on. Yeah, they do a lot of the sales are internet sales, but they have been like, quote unquote planning for it by opening mega stores all over the place. So it was an astute business decision on whomever is the company or person behind the deal.
All right, good. So, some other things that were in the news. The PCA, I don't know if many people saw this article. I get a lot of stuff coming from the PCA. The PCA has launched what they call a Congressional Town Hall Series. I actually listened in a little bit of the first one. The first one dealt with Pennsylvania, and they have another series starting on May 6th where they're going to have Arizona, on the 6th District of Arizona. You're going to have Representative Dave Schweikart on. These are actually very informative. These are discussions with what I would consider pro cigar politicians. They're good to hear what they have to say, because these are the ones we need in our pocket. Maybe that's the wrong way to say it, but they're the ones we need to have on our side to go fight the battle that we're doing right now. So that's something good. You can check it out. There's actually links in there on how to sign up for the RSVP it, and then they'll send you an email when it starts, and it's really easy. You click a link and you can start to watch it. I think I talked about this last week, which was J.C. Newman launching this thing called Brick House at My House. I'll bring it up one more time. Brick House at My House allows you to purchase a number of Brick House cigars, and be picking some winners in a raffle that they're going to have. So if you buy these, you get into a raffle, and that raffle is going to give you an opportunity on May 15th. So from now till May 15th, you can get into this if you buy this package. And the grand prize is this really, really cool Brick House, Your House cigar lounge chair. So
that's nice.
It is really, really a nice prize. And that's valued at like $1,500, they say. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. There's links in here on how to get there and sign up for that. So those are the big news items. I will do a huge shout out to my brethren in the cigar media industry, Cigar Coop. For those that didn't see it, he was able to get an interview with Jonathan Drew. Jonathan doesn't do a lot of interviews.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, he did a great job in interviewing him. Of course, Jonathan did most of the talking. It was one question, and Jonathan would go on for discussion. Great stories. If you get an opportunity and you're going through Coop's feed, he's got watch parties on that. Drew Estate has already put out some links to that. That is a great. It went for 3 hours the other night. It was just nonstop. And as Mike said, the fun part is that Jonathan is like this. He's like talking into the screen, literally like this. This is Jonathan the whole time. It was hilarious, but he did a great job. The whole team did a good job. Coop, Aaron, the rest of them, they were awesome. So really, really, really good. So you get an opportunity, you can check that out. And the next show, we got some good lineup. So we got coming up, open up my list here. We've got coming up on Taking It to the Nub. Next week, we'll have Kevin Schweitzer
Yeah, boy.
Cigars on. Rockefeller Cigars makes some of the finest cigars
Yeah.
that you're gonna put in your palate. Okay, you want to check this out, and we're gonna talk about some cool stuff. Schweitzer knows what I'm talking about. We're not gonna break it here, but that show is gonna be one of the most entertaining shows. It's gonna go beyond cigars because Kevin's got some special talent that we'll show and expose next week.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. I never imagined he had talent.
May 16th, the following week, we'll have Alec Rubin on from Alec and Bradley Cigars. These are the two sons, the two brothers. We're going to have Alec Rubin on. On May 23rd, we're going to have Providencia Cigars. Providencia Cigars. If you like this is what their factory that they work with. This is who created the Boston Jimmie. So we'll have a lot of discussions there. Great for people to tune into. May 30th.
So on your cigar, yeah, I'm almost at the nub, and I'm getting that mint that you were talking about. So yeah, they definitely did a great job on it.
Yeah, so you got the second batch. So the first batch, that was showing up down here. And a lot of people don't smoke it as far down. And I got the feedback I got, I said, just whatever that is, and I believe it was the Ometepe leaf, I said, move that up just a little bit because I want people to experience that. So I'm glad you
So I'm getting it, and I'm not burning my fingers yet, so I'm very happy about that.
There you go. So May 30th, our Memorial Day weekend, we expect to have Mike Bellady on from MLB Cigar Ventures.
I will be drinking during that show because we all know Mike will.
And yeah, bring out your best whiskey for that show. And June 6th, we will be having Rafael Nadal himself. And I'm hoping that Rafael will play something on the piano for us just for fun. So
awesome.
You'd have to ask him to play that original piece that he wrote.
Yes, absolutely. So those are the lineups. I want to thank you all for joining us. If you have an opportunity to go to theiconicsmokers.com, check out what they have on their site. We're looking forward to what you're going to do with a documentary. If you're looking for Kiowa cigars, connect up with Juan, because check out the reviews I did on them. I'm going to tell you, they're awesome cigars.
I go an extra step, Jimmie. What I'm going to do is once the show is over, I'm going to send you a link of like a little preview of some of the work that I've been doing, and also I'm going to set it up to where you'll be the person to release this first little mini video that I did. This is just an introduction into what Iconic Smoker is and everything like that and what we do. But why not, right? Why not on the with the man himself, Boston Jimmie, put something out like that? So I'm gonna definitely do that, and then we'll work it so you can get it out there, and so we can introduce it to the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Remember, you guys, after this quarantine and shutdown is over, there's an open invite for both you, Juan, to come here, experience a dinner at Dia Vita. My wife will cook you the most amazing food. We'll sit out here in the Stogie Press Lounge. Shirtless Mike will be over, and we'll
of course
enjoy some good smokes. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, if you like this, you can always see the previous Taking It to the Nub shows on Stogie Press on the menu Taking It to the Nub, or you could go to our YouTube channel, which is the Stogie Press YouTube channel, and you'll see all the previous Taking It to the Nub shows that we produce. This is episode number 9. Next week will be number 10. It's a magical number. and we're looking forward to making this better every time. Thank you all. I appreciate you watching.
Thank you. Thanks for
Take care.
being on, y'all.
Everybody, have a good one.